following is an exclusive presentation of Ravens Productions.
This week on Ravens Report, we go behind the scenes of last week's thrilling win in Pittsburgh, sit down with head coach John Harbaugh, and preview Sunday's game against the Browns. All of that and more coming up on this week's Ravens Report. Hey everyone, welcome to our Week 5 edition of Ravens Report. From the Under Armour Performance Center, I'm Erin Hawksworth. Going to work Monday morning felt so good after the Ravens beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh Sunday night. Baltimore, now winners of 2 straight, are tied for first place in the AFC North. Now, before we move on to the Browns, let's relive the victory in Pittsburgh. Joe Flacco threw for 363 yards, most ever by a Ravens QB in the Steel City. And the Ravens held the Steelers scoreless in the second half. It never gets old, does it? Let's take a look back as the Ravens shine in prime time.
As you men prepare for this milestone opportunity against Pittsburgh, understand that in life we only get so many defining moments to display who we really are. Destiny has appointed your moment against a divisional rival on a national stage. The preparation is complete, and all that is left is the execution. Now is your moment to set the standard for what this year will be.
Some days will play as hard as you will, but not tonight!
It's been said that sometimes we never know the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Let's make sure this memory sets the stage for greater things to come this season.
It's that time. Erase everything in your mind except for this moment right now. That's all that matters. Leave it here with a W. Let's go, big dog. Have fun out there, baby.
We control our own destiny. No one else does. I love you men and look forward to seeing you perform Sunday night.
Flacco takes the snap, looking to the right, firing down the far sideline. He's got a man there, and it is caught. John Brown, touchdown Ravens. He burned Joe Hayden on the play, and the Ravens open up with a 75-yard scoring drive right out of the gates.
Hey, Joe! Good throw, man! Hey.
You got all that space out there. I thought that was beautiful, man. Yeah. As soon as the ball snapped, he shot outside and turned his hips inside. Yeah. And you pressed him and still went outside.
Yeah, I was still going outside.
I love that. That's awesome.
First time in his career, he has opened with 3 consecutive 300-yard passing games. He throws complete to his tight end, Vance McDonald, and has it stripped, taken away by Tony Jefferson. What a takeaway by Tony Jefferson! Flacco rolls to the right, throws. He's got a man. Touchdown, Alex Collins, who tumbles in for 6. And the Ravens turn the turnover into a touchdown.
Oh yeah, keep plugging away. Hey, long game, long game. Yeah. One play at a time. Yeah.
The Ravens quickly with 14 points, but now the Steelers trying to scratch their way back into the game. Roethlisberger, blitz coming, his pass across the middle complete. Vance McDonald breaks the tackle at midfield, barrels into Ravens territory 40, still on his feet and all the way down to the 32-yard line. A 33-yard gain. The Ravens have the lead, but the Steelers have complete control of the momentum at the moment. Roethlisberger takes the snap, looking left, nothing there, running to his right, buys time, comes back, throws to the end zone. Antonio Brown reaches up and makes the catch. Touchdown, Steelers. That was all Ben Roethlisberger, extending the play until he could put the ball over a well-covered Antonio Brown. Welcome to the Ravens-Steeler rivalry. You think it's going your way in the first quarter. You think the Ravens have this thing under control. Look up, and all of a sudden it's dead even, and the terrible towels are waving again.
Let's go have some fun out there. Let's go have some fun out there, right?
We talk about being resilient from our head coach down. This group is a tough group, tough-minded, resilient group. In the second half, Wink was a step ahead the entire second half.
It's just like a fighter. You got a game plan, and then throughout the course of the fight, you know, plans change.
They are cranking it up in Pittsburgh. Renegade by Sticks playing on the scoreboard.
You know, that song, Renegade, you know, and I mention that because that's one of the things, of course, on the road that you've got to thrive in, you know, as an environment.
Okay. Oh, yeah! Bring it, man. Let's go.
When I heard the song come on, I'm like, oh yeah, it's time.
The terrible towels are waving. One of the ways you measure success from the Ravens' perspective is how quiet they can make it here at Heinz Field. You can get the first down, use some physical play with a run game. You can start to wear down the clock and the Steelers here. Flacco rolls to the right, throws, completes. Maxx Williams has it at the 40-yard line, still on his feet, and tumbles to the 45-yard line with a Ravens first down. A 24-yard gain. But all of a sudden, listen in, it's very quiet. Flacco looking to throw, steps up, pumps once. Now he throws a check down to Turner to 40, sidesteps a couple of tackles, and weaves his way up to the 48-yard line off the play fake. Flacco steps up, throws complete to Boyle on the near side, 40. Cuts it to the 35, takes a big hit as he is down at the Pittsburgh 34. And the Ravens are on the move. Off the play fake, Flacco throws across the middle, and it is bobbled and caught by Snead. Willie Snead bobbling the ball and then pulling it down as he tumbled to the ground at the 13-yard line. 28-yard field goal attempt for Justin Tucker is good, and the Ravens make it a 2-score game.
Listen, you learn from experiences, and this group definitely has, and it showed tonight.
In a series where the Steelers have so often broken the Ravens' heart late in the game, the Ravens have a chance to break the Steelers down now. Roethlisberger looking to throw on third down. Has time, slings it, intercepted. Anthony Levine at the 40. He's at the Steeler 30, the 25. He's flung down there, and the Ravens are celebrating.
There, you ain't gonna smile? Huh? Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, boss.
The work is done.
What a freaking win. We talk about it all the time. You don't become a true Raven until you win in Pittsburgh. So I've officially become a Raven.
Still to come on Ravens Report. Since 2008, John Harbaugh and the Ravens have dominated the Browns. We sit down with the head coach to discuss the team's trip to Cleveland next.
Man, we've been here 2 years. We were here Christmas night 2 years ago. Played our hearts out, all right? Played our hearts out and left our hearts here. Came back here last year, played our hearts out and left it here. Came back here this year to finish the job, all right? So this is where it begins. All right, that's where it ends, and this is where it begins.
Welcome back to Ravens Report. I'm Erin Hawksworth. The Ravens hope last week's win was the start of great things to come this season, but it also started a tough stretch for Baltimore, where the Ravens play 4 out of 5 on the road. This week, the Ravens have to travel again to Cleveland. The Ravens have been dominant under John Harbaugh against the Browns since 2008. The Ravens are 18-2 against their division rivals, including 9-1 in Cleveland. But this Browns team feels different, especially since they won their first game in 635 days and rookie quarterback Baker Mayfield took over the starting job. Garrett Downing sits down with John Harbaugh to discuss the challenges of this new-look Browns team.
Coach, thank you very much for the time, and congratulations on that win over Pittsburgh last week. Let's go ahead and start there with that win. After the game, Eric Weddle steps to the mic, and he's using his new favorite phrase, which is, "These ain't the same Ravens." I'm sure you've seen that quote. And he's one of the veteran guys who sets the tone, obviously, for this entire team, but there's so many, him and Suggs and Joe and a number of guys. How have you seen these leaders set the tone through the first quarter of the season?
Right. Well, they've been excellent. You're right. I think it's a great point. We have so many good leaders, and I think the guys that have been here for a long time, the guys that have been through the ups and downs, kind of lived it with the fans. Last year, last few years, back to 12, back to what led to 2-12, all the way back to, in some guys, 2006, 2007. I think those guys are the foundation. They're the kind of thing that welds this thing together. And then, between those welds, we got some real staunch guys, and we've got a great foundation of leadership. And if you have a foundation of leadership in football, in the National Football League, guys that want to work hard, guys that believe in study, guys that will show the young guys the right way. Hey, every now and then you got to grab a young guy and get him in line, but more than that, they encourage him and coach him up and teach him. Those are the kind of things I think that give you a chance to have a special football team.
A really cool moment after that game is when you presented the game balls, and one of them went to Wink Martindale after shutting out the Steelers in the second half at Heinz Field. Nobody does that, and you guys were able to do that. How cool was the moment to see him get the ball and everybody swarm him in the locker room?
It was awesome, and it was it's funny because it was a game ball for the defense, so of course the defensive coordinator accepts it,
Yeah.
And I think Wink wants to buy all the guys a game ball. That's the kind of guy he is, and it's a team effort. Those guys are really a unit. I think we have a close-knit team with all three phases, but when you see a moment like that and the fans get a chance to get inside and see the sheer joy after a victory, and a bunch of guys that really trust one another, believe in one another, and love one another, in a football environment, that's a big part of why we do this.
Yeah. One thing that stood out to me on your offense so far is that everybody's getting involved. All three receivers have had big plays. The tight ends, Maxx Williams steps up last week. The running backs have found the end zone. I mean, everybody, it's a different guy, it seems like, every series, not just every game. Can you talk about that balance on offense a little bit? That
is a big part of it, and you want to keep the defense spread out. You want to make them defend the whole width of the field, the whole depth of the field, and that includes the inside part, the running game part of the thing right between the tackles. So all those parts of the fields are things that you want to make them defend, and you need players to do it. Joe's doing a good job of spreading the ball around. Marty and the coaches are doing a good job of scheming it up, and we've just got to keep building on it. It's only a quarter of the way through the season. We've only played 4 games. We have a very, very big challenge in front of us. Also a big opportunity in Cleveland on Sunday afternoon, and that's what our focus needs to be on.
2 guys who are practicing this week that everybody's excited about, obviously cornerback Jimmy Smith and tight end Hayden Hurst. You're not going to alert the Browns as to whether or not they're playing this week, but when they are back, what kind of boost will that give your team?
Well, good players always help, and those are 2 great guys. Jimmy Smith's a proven corner. He was really playing well at the end of training camp, I thought. He's practiced this week, looks good. Same with Hayden Hurst. It's going to be a challenge. We'll just see how this goes. In terms of their readiness to go out there and compete.
Sunday, game against the Browns. You've had a lot of success against them over your career, but every game seems like a battle, particularly when you're there in Cleveland. What do you expect in this game Sunday?
What we always get, an AFC North divisional game, and we look at this as a championship game. This could very well be for the championship when it's all said and done, and that's the way you have to look at it. So we know it's going to be a great environment. We know it's going to be rocking. We know the stadium's going to be loud. The dog pound's going to be going crazy. We know that they have a good, young, talented team, heck of a quarterback. It's just the whole thing is going to be just what we want, just what we're looking forward to, and we're going to have to be at our best to win the football game.
Hey, Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck on Sunday.
Thanks, Garrett.
Still to come on Ravens Report, we sit down with tight end Maxx Williams, fresh off a great game at Heinz Field.
What do you think about in the moment of victory? The celebration, the highlights, the power rankings? Not us. We're driven by more. We're thinking about the missed opportunities, the plays that almost happened. And while people are trying to pat us on the back, we're back to work. You hear talk about the Ravens being great? Take pride in it. Get excited. But we're not listening. Because guess what? We're never satisfied. We can be so much more.
Welcome back to Ravens Report. I'm Erin Hawksworth. Tight end Maxx Williams' return to the field has been a long, tough journey. The former second-round pick has battled multiple injuries over his career, but is back in the lineup and had a great game against Pittsburgh. Maxx snagged 5 catches for 51 yards, and even with the Ravens drafting 2 young tight ends this season, he's carved out a crucial role in the Ravens offense. Our Evan Washburn sat down with Maxx to talk about his new role on the team this year.
Flacco throws, complete. Maxx Williams has it at the 40-yard line, still on his feet with our Ravens first down.
Well, Maxx, thanks for doing this. It's been a little while. As I look back, your rookie year was the last time you guys went to Pittsburgh and got a win. Does anything replicate that feeling of going to Heinz Field and walking out of there with a W?
My first pro win was that one in 2015, the overtime win in Pittsburgh. So, I mean, it brings back that great feeling of, you know, that's a tough place to win for any team, especially when it's the rivalry game, getting there and beating the Steelers on their home field. I mean, it's a great feeling.
And to have an impact like you did in that game, based off of what you've been through the last few years, I have to imagine was pretty special for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice when you're getting the ball and be able to make plays, but I mean, you look at the whole game, everyone was making plays. I mean, Smoke had 2 huge catches, Willie had a huge catch on 3rd down, Tim White. So I think overall it's kind of like that team, everyone knew they were going to have to make plays at some point in time, and everyone did when they had to.
As best you can, take me through the background of the play where you lined up next to the center, from sort of where it began to hearing it called in game and knowing, man, this is a chance to kind of catch people off guard and make a play.
That's on Marty and the coaches. We've had that in for a while, and I don't think I've ever been open in practice. Like,
really?
Never even remotely open. Usually it's someone else getting the ball in that, and usually I'm kind of distraction, but just happened, right call at the right moment against the right defense, and I happened to pop wide open, and Joe saw me, and we were able to make a play.
Have you ever been a part of a play where you lined up next to the center
Nope.
like that?
No, that's a first for me, lined up at guard. The other ones really kind of like when we're hitting out wide, but that's a first for me.
It kind of speaks to where this offense is this year, at least through 4 games, really humming at a clip that we haven't seen in a while. You've been here for a number of years. What do you think's the difference?
You know, I think we're closer as a team. I mean, I think in the locker room, if you go in there now, you'll see it. I mean, everyone's getting along, everyone's always joking around, laughing, everyone's eating together. And I think this year we're just really coming together as a team. We've had the same coordinator now with Marty. Kind of Giro has been here at the run game, and it's all starting to click together, and we're really feeling each other out there and having fun.
I touched on it earlier, but you've been through a lot in your short career, and it goes back even before you came here. But when they draft 2 tight ends, I'm curious how it changed your approach or affected your approach heading into this season.
You know, when I saw them draft 2 tight ends, I mean, it's a business here, and that's for the upstairs people to worry about. Me and Nick, we can't worry about that. We're here to play football, and whatever happens, happens. Whoever they bring in, we're going to still come out here, try our best every day, and try to help the young guys learn the offense, because they got drafted for a reason. They can help us. So my attitude towards it was, you know, I'm going to keep getting as best I can, help the other guys, raise them up, and just make our team better.
You mentioned the role that you and Nick have with that group, with Mark and Hayden. How different is that for you after, again, it's only been 3 seasons. You were the young guy just a couple of years ago, and now you're thrust in this role of more of a leader.
Yeah, now that me and Nick are kind of the older guys in the room, only being in our 4th year, I mean, we're just trying to do what the other guys did for us with Dennis and Crockett, who was older than us, and Ben. I mean, we want to show the young guys how to be pros. We were taught, and really how you do have to come to work and really have to study your opponent and really just kind of show them what it's like to be a pro in the league and how you can be successful.
As exciting as I know Sunday night was, you guys turned your attention pretty quickly to your next opponent. It's in the division again. And look, from the outside, the Browns appear different. Not just because they finally got a win, but they have a lot of talent, especially defensively. As you've looked at this opponent, what stood out to you?
I mean, they're a great team. I mean, I don't think they get enough credit for who they have on their team and how they play. I mean, their defense is physical, they're fast, and they got a bunch of playmakers. I mean, I think they lead right now the league in turnovers, like their defense does, and they love to strip the ball. So really, it's like no other week. We got to go in there, and play good.
Max, good to see you healthy and making plays.
Appreciate
Thanks for the time.
Great seeing you.
Coming up next on Ravens Report, Justin Tucker visits the Baltimore School of the Arts to deliver a special gift to the students and staff. Welcome back to Ravens Report. I'm Erin Hawksworth. We've known about Justin Tucker's singing ability in Baltimore for quite some time. With this offseason, fans around the country got a chance to see it on display during the CBS show The Most Valuable Performer. On Monday, Justin visited the Baltimore School of the Arts and presented a special gift to the school.
So this past off season, participated in a show on CBS, and the winner of the competition, you're looking at him, got a chance to donate $50,000 to a charitable cause. So I picked none other than the Baltimore School for the Arts. It's a little one of these, but hard work trumps everything, in my opinion. You work hard, good things will happen for you.
I'm Robert.
Justin, good to see you guys. That was amazing. I'm totally blown away. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, right. I think it's important to foster this next generation of artists and just really all kids, especially in this city, a city that I call home. They're helping a whole bunch of kids here fulfill their dreams, and I mean that sincerely. This is a really special place, and I'm just honored to get a chance to be here.
The defense has been great this season. Don Wink Martindale's unit is ranked 2nd overall and should get a boost with the return of cornerback Jimmy Smith. The defense has not given up a second-half touchdown all season and has only allowed 9 points in the final 30 minutes. Keep an eye on Eric Weddle, who has an interception in 4 straight games versus Cleveland. The Ravens will hope to quiet the dog pound in the second half and return from Cleveland with a victory. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Erin Hawksworth. We'll see you next week on Ravens Report.